Ignis Pixel are in a league of their own. They are extremely bright and extremely expensive. The hardware that goes into these is definitely the best hardware inside of an LED juggling ball currently. They are extremely reactive, so just a slight turn and it will begin reacting to whatever I'm doing. So that it can map and show individual pixels as it's moving through the air. The juggling balls are too small to actually be able to see any of the pictures that it's trying to generate, but on their clubs or Poi or a bunch of their other products, you can actually see the pictures that these LEDs can generate as it moves across your vision because of persistence of vision. You can see that, all that stuff. With these balls, you can't see that. They're just bright, cool-looking balls. I can see in the camera right now, it's pretty blown out, so you can't see that there are just 3 lines of LEDs going through the balls. I'm going to go into the app to turn the brightness down. I'm going to start screen recording just to show you the ease of use with the app. It's the best app user experience. So there's pretty much no fiddling with this one. With the Flow toys, there's a lot of fiddling, and with the K8, it's a lot of fiddling. And with both of those, you need to buy a separate thing to connect to the app. So starting recording on my phone, starting up the app, and there's 1, 2, 3, and they're all connected, and it immediately shows their battery life on the screen there. You can pick a individual ball to play with the settings for it, a long press on it, and you could upload images, which would matter if you could see the images that it was generating. As it stands, just having it be fun blinky blinks is just fine. The brightness being shown at all times is a huge plus for me. With the brightness down, it doesn't blow out my camera as much, so I think you can see that a bit better, that it's just 3 lines of LEDs, whereas all the other balls try to be a solid-ish color. These are sort of marching to the beat of their own tuba, which I like the way that these look. As far as the way that the balls themselves look when they're lit up, I think that these have my favorite look. They look fun. They look neat. It looks like it's doing something. You can also pick just solid individual colors. I think that all of them look good. They're the brightest balls, so that's at 200% brightness, and at first I said, like, you can't do 200% of something, and then I turned it to 200%, and I was like, oh god, my eyes! Like, it legitimately hurts to look at them. This is in my living room with all my lights on and some windows open, like, and it's still, like, just glaringly bright. Which, when you are on stage somewhere, sometimes I will lose track of whatever I'm trying to catch. I've never lost track of these. Like, these are the easiest things to catch because when you have the brightness all the way up, it's literally all you can see. You can't see your hands. Your hands figure it out. You can't see anything but the props. I like that. I like how bright these get. The random sync mode, so they're all gonna change colors. Ooh. Random all, so they all pick a different random color. You can upload a timeline to these balls. The balls need to be on for you to be able to upload a timeline to them. So it's a long press on the timeline. You push add, and then you pick whichever flavor you want. There's like 120 of them or something ridiculous. Like for the balls, there's too many modes because you can't see the difference between the modes. Like if it says it's making hearts, this thing's trying to make hearts. You can't see that there's hearts. Sometimes if somebody's like waving the ball like a lunatic, like, can you see it now? Can you see it now? Sometimes you can make it out like that. I'm sure that you could get like a weave going and get it figured out to do that right special wave so that people can see it in their eyeballs. I'm sure that you could do that. I have not put the time in to do that. That seems like a lot of work for, can you see it? Can you see it? It's doing something. Can you see it? Whereas you can just have them all turn pretty sparkly colors instead, and people will be like, yeah, pretty sparkly colors. I understand that. So have it pick whatever for the timelines and whatever time you want, but I don't know how this works, because it's 99 watt and it's up to 59 watt. Is that an hour? Is that seconds? I haven't had good luck with it, and I think that it's stupid. So it'll upload it to the ball. So I have it either at 2 minutes or 2 seconds or something for one, and then it does the other one after that. So if I click on that, oh, it's uploading. It's doing its little I'm uploading animation. Okay, so it's back at the main menu. When it's multiple colors and it's got the blue flashing light, that's its main menu. You can push the button on the ball to try and select things. They call that the cursor. The blinking light's the cursor. I'm not going to try and figure that out. I'm just going to use the app. I'm not insane. I don't speak Russian. I don't know. I don't understand their instructions. I'm sorry. The app is very intuitive and easy to use. FlowToys says that theirs is intuitive, and they say that it's an intuitive single press design. That is not intuitive. It's the opposite of intuitive. These are intuitive. I didn't do it. So timeline. Okay, I pushed the timeline. It's doing one of the things. Sort of. Okay, one of them's not. I think the timelines are stupid. I think it's just doing the first thing that I told it to do. Maybe I did set it to 2 minutes. Oh, it changed. Did it? Yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, sorry, I don't get it. The timelines are stupid and they suck. I don't like the timelines. I don't use the timelines. I don't understand how to use the timelines. I don't understand the tutorials. I unfortunately do not speak Russian, and the subtitles that I read didn't make sense to me. So I just use the pictures. I like the random sync. It can pick one and do it for the amount of time that you selected, for whichever amount of time you selected, and then it'll switch. Then random all, so each one is doing its own different thing. I like that. I like it when the balls are each doing their own things. I wish that other sets of juggling balls would let each individual ball be doing its own thing instead of all three of them synced up through the single button press that you do. FlowToys, I wish that your stuff did that. And K8, I wish that it was easier to do that with your stuff. Maybe the FlowToys does do it and I'm just stupid, but I didn't see a way to do it, so whatever. Updating the firmware on these is super easy. You will, in the app, basically just click on one of the balls, then under settings, you can update device. The option's just there at the very bottom. So instead of having to navigate to a website and then find the download for the firmware and then downloading the firmware onto your computer and then plugging your prop into your computer and then updating the firmware that way. With these, you plug it into the wall, go into the app, click onto the ball that you want to update, click update, and then it updates. It's like, what, 4 steps versus 10. These are a lot easier They're also a lot more expensive. The $159 for these versus $70 for the Flow Toys. I assume that Flow Toys will have some vision thing out at some point, and their price will probably be comparable to these. I hope that the vision ones are able to get out of beta, like the rest of their stuff is in beta in my mind, whereas these are closer to a finished project. I'm sure that you could use the timeline in the app to make a light show. I am not going to do that, because you would need to figure out the amount of seconds that you want in between each color change. However that works on there, I haven't sat down with it for 20 minutes or whatever it'll take to figure that out. I'm sure that there's a YouTube video on it or some paperwork that they have on it. What I was able to glance through the few times that I did, I was not able to find something that is just like as easy to use as either K8's website or K8's remote or Flow Toys on their app, which is like a real professional tool to make a actual light show, which is in beta. The Flow Toys thing is in beta. This one's like an actual release thing. If you're at a carnival or something, if you're trying to get people's attention, these get people's attention. They are super pretty, they are super bright, and they look different from all of the other ones. This whole pile, all of them look pretty similar when they are on. It's a single color or changing colors on the ball, whereas these ones are lines of colors throughout the ball. The lines stand out, and it will make someone, they stand out. Compared to the rest of them, the visual, they stand out. I like them. If they're worth $160, I'm not sure. If you are a performer, if you do halftime shows, these would definitely be worth it because they are eye-catching. I don't love the 3D printed body on them. You can see the grain on them. Turn that off. So you can see that grain on them. If my fingers catch with the grain, sometimes a sloppy catch I would have been able to save. Otherwise, I will drop that sloppy catch. It's my fault. It's a sloppy catch. I shouldn't have had a sloppy catch in the first place. But with other balls, I'm able to save it. With these, I will lose that sloppy catch. If the sloppy catch goes with the grain, it will slip out of my fingertips. Not a huge deal, but these do introduce some extra errors for me with those sloppy catches, at least. Battery life is absolutely killer. Let's get to the brightness. 25% brightness, which is this right here. It has 10 hours of battery life, is absolutely crushing it. But I would hope that it would be for this price. Don't buy these full price. Wait for a spring sale or Black Friday or something, because you can save 10, 20 bucks on each ball, which if you're buying 7 or something, you know, that adds up quick. These do also have the indicator to show that they are charging, and it shows when it is fully charged as well. Overall, these may be my favorite set, mostly because of the user experience on the app, the ease of use with the app, just the fact that I turn the app on and it's immediately connected, showing battery life, the fact that the brightness is right there on the screen at all times and I can just move that brightness back and forth without having to click 2 or 3 times. The long-lasting battery life is great. I love the size. The weight is pretty good at 140 grams. There's 72 millimeter balls, so just sort of in the middle of where most people I know are comfortable. I'm the only person I know who owns a set of 3 of these. I know one other person who bought a single one of these. If you know anybody who owns these, put me in touch with them. I would love to just chat with them, because my experience has been stellar with these. I would recommend these to professional performers. You would need to have a lot of disposable income to justify this purchase, in my opinion, if you are not actively performing and making money with these. In my mind, these are money makers. These are not for hobbyists. That is a ridiculous price point for something that you have not held or touched or seen in person before. $159 per ball. $160 per ball is a steep price for something that you've never seen in person. I would recommend these to professional performers. They are super bright, they're super pretty, they get attention. Most jugglers who I've shown these to say that if price didn't matter, these would probably be their favorite. Price does matter, however. If you break one of these outside of warranty, you are screwed. They are out of Russia, so even with rush shipping, they've got to hit quite a few ports before getting to wherever you live. Overall, I do like these, but the price point makes them hard to justify if you're not actively making money with them.